Hello, I'm going to teach you guys how to play Wild World by Cat Stevens. The first thing that you need to learn to play this song is the rhythm. So that's just 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a... And the strumming is down, down, up. So you're just down, 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 up. So how you're gonna want to practice that is just, you can do like double time, which would be like instead of 1 and 2 and, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 and, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4 and, or you can just do 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and a 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2. So I'm just gonna go over the chords and say the chord names. The first chord is an A minor, D, G, C, F, D minor, and then E. And the E, you can kind of do your own thing with. That's the first fill that we're going to get into in a second, but there will be times where you're not going to want to do the fill. So, you can just kind of however you really want to do it. Just what I like to do is, and I change up the rhythm for this, down, up, down, and on the up, you're gonna lift your pointer finger to make it a minor. So, and that just kind of for a second gives it a dissonance, but obviously not obviously, but the E chord ringing out, really lets your ear know everything's okay, it sounds good. So, the D minor chord is just a D chord, but instead of on the E string having the second fret fretted, you're gonna have the first fret fretted, so just like, and then the A minor is open A, second fret on the D, second fret on the G, and first fret on the B, just like that. So now we'll just jump right into the fill here. So after you play your E chord, you have 2 beats left. And those are filled by a little riff here. So you have your E chord, take those 2 fingers off, you still have your first fret G held down, and you're gonna go between the A string and the G string. Well, at first you're gonna pluck the A string between every note. So A string, G string, A string, G string. And then on that third A string hit, so it's you're gonna hammer from the first fret to the second fret as you hit the A string that third time. And then, so the riff is A string, first fret, A string, first fret, A string as you hammer onto the second fret. But when you're not gonna pick it when you hammer it on, you're gonna pick the B string. And how it's actually written is the A string, G string, A string, G string, A string with the hammer. And then as you pluck the B string, you pull off to the first fret, but you can't really hear that very well. So it would be like, kind of give it a little nice extra feel there. If I were you though, or if you were a beginner, I would suggest just instead of the pull-off thing there, kind of overly complicated for not much payoff there. So so that the first time through is la 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 la, baby I love you, whatever he does there. And so the second time through, now that I've lost everything to you, and that time you can choose to do the fill. The second time, just kind of rock that E chord a little bit. Then the third time through, it's if you want to leave, take good care. Something like that. So what happens after that is another little intro riff. And how that goes is at the end, when you're doing your E chord strum at the end of the verse, on your upstroke there, or on your up pick, upstroke, whatever, you're gonna grab a G chord. So E, sometimes I'll just do a upstroke and then downstroke on the G, as long as you're in time. But I think technique-wise, you're gonna want to do down, down, up, and your upstroke will be on that G chord. So when you hit the G, there's a little riff there. You're gonna be fretting the D string and plucking the D and the G string here. So it's just 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and third fret, second fret, open. Some people I've seen do it, and then they're holding their G chord, and then they'll bring this down. Yeah, just kind of lightly grazing these two higher strings, but I like to just, because that part, I believe the piano is actually playing in the song, so it kind of gives it that more solid. But yeah, you can hit some extra higher notes, maybe if, you know, this different time that riff comes up, you want to add a little bit of flourish, you know, feel it by all means, you know. So that transitions into, ooh, baby, baby, it's a wild world. It's hard to get by, just on the spot. So, you're gonna do straight into that C, G, F. And this little riff is just from the first fret of the B string to the third fret of the A string, both of which the notes are C, so it's just a C major scale. You might have picked up on it that this song is in the key of C, but I don't want to get too logistical with you guys. I'm just trying to show you how to do it, you know. So it's just walking down the C major scale. C, or first fret B string, open B string, second fret G string, open G string, third fret D string, second fret D string, open D string, and then third fret on the A string. And that's gonna sound like. That's just the C major scale. Just a C major scale riff there. So and you have to grab that pretty quick after the F chord. So then when you hit the C, you're immediately gonna roll your finger down to the G chord, F chord, C chord, and then here's a little G riff. That's he plays it just so 2 open A once, and then the C on the A string 4 times, and then open on the A once, and then the G once. G, F, C, and then and that's just a kind of cool little, it's C, A, and G there. So it's not actually a C chord, or I mean, it's not actually a G chord riff, but it sounds nice. I guess if you wanted to put a label on it, it would be like an A7 chord or A major 7 chord, because G would be the 7th in that, but it doesn't really fit the chords used. So I just, you know the notes. And then back to the beginning, C, G, F. So there's another little fill there, and that's just a D minor plucked from the D string. Alternative picking, down, up, and then this is an E major here, but I only fret from the D string down, earlier. So that's just the D minor, and then second fret D string, first fret G string, open B, open E. And then we just break right back into our initial. And that's the entire song. I don't think there's any other fills anywhere in the song. I get the worst feeling that I'm forgetting something, but I think that's the entire song. So thank you guys for watching very much. Like and subscribe. This is my first lesson video, other than one I had previously done that I'm deleting because there was a mistake in it. But I'm gonna be coming out with some videos. I'm gonna teach you guys how to do some stray cats. And a little just a few cool songs like that. I'm gonna do Johnny Cash, Folsom Prison Blues, and Hurt, and some Blind Melon, and I'll be doing fully comprehensive tutorials, so it'll be how to play the entire song. I'm gonna try not to break it into parts. But I would really appreciate, anyone who would like or subscribe my videos. I'd appreciate it very much. Have a nice day. My name's Nicholas Gross, by the way.